One, this is Minnesota Video, another live stream here. This is the You're the Reason I'm Travelin' On live stream, and this is the chronicling actually multiple events, but I'll get into that in a little bit. But the start of the album was something that just happened in at the beginning of April, and it was one of those things. It was a Bumble match, and we were chatting for a while, before we actually met up, and looked really good on paper. And then it turned out to not be so great. And it was just one of those things. It was difficult because I've usually been on the other end of that, where it's like, somebody is not being honest or whatever, and saying like, yeah, they're just not compatible and XYZ. And this one, I had to initiate that conversation. But anyway, so there, as I was, driving back to my place afterwards, I just kind of kept on thinking about, okay, what could I have done better? But then also there was something that just popped into my head, and that was, just keep driving away. You'll find something else, someone else. And so I wrote that song the next day, just keep driving away. And the feel that I wanted was don't think twice, it's all right, which was kind of the same mantra, except that the Bob Dylan song, it's a mantra to yourself, but it also kind of functions as a mantra to the other person as well. And my song was kind of written for myself. So that's that little thing, and I'll explain some of the lyrics after I get done playing both. So this is just keep driving away, and don't think twice, it's all right. Well, it's just like me to think about mass dealings, but only after quite some time. Well, you gave me a repeat of past feelings, the one when toxic love was blind. Yeah, I hated being on the giving end of saying words no one should comprehend. But a better day is up around the bend, so just keep driving away. Well, it's just like me to give my and you ribbons, so you'll still have some when I'm gone. Well, it's just like me to put on these decisions, but this one I knew all along. That's not to say I had a master plan to lead you on surely before I ran. It's just that you won't love me like someone else can, so just keep driving away. Well, it's just like me to complain about being lonely when I call things off instead. Well, it's just like me to be the only one who knows me and be filled with existential dread. If you buy your chickens before they're hatched, you'll be connected but will feel detached. You'll have a hole in your heart and soul to match, so just keep driving away. Just keep driving away. Well, it ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe. It don't matter anyhow. And it ain't no use to sit and wonder why, babe, if and you don't know by now. When your rooster crows at the break of dawn, look out your window and I'm gone. You're the reason I'm a traveling on. But don't think twice, it's alright. And it ain't no use in turning on your line, babe. That line that I never know. And it ain't no use in turning on your line, babe. I'm on the wrong side of the road. Still I wish there was something you would do or say to try to make me change my mind and stay. We never did too much talking anyway, but don't think twice, it's alright. Well, it ain't no use in calling out my name, gal, like you never did me before. And it ain't no use in calling out my name, gal, I can't hear you anymore. I'm a thinking and a wandering down the road. I once loved a woman, a child, I'm told. I gave her my heart, but she wanted my soul. But don't think twice, it's alright. Yeah, I'm walking around that lonesome road, man. Where I'm bound, I can't tell. But goodbye's too strong a word, yeah. So I'll just say fairly well. I ain't saying you treated me unkind. You could have done better, oh, but I don't mind. You just kinda wasted my own precious time. But don't think twice, it's alright. Yeah, don't think twice, it's alright. Alright, and that was Don't Think Twice, It's Alright, and Just Keep Driving Away. Just Keep Driving Away was the first one I played, and that was my own song. The really interesting thing about that Dylan song, as was the case with a lot of his early stuff, is that he actually borrowed the melody from kind of sort of two different songs. Um, they they were the same songs, but I'll explain in a second. So they were traditional folk songs, and one of them was "Who's Gonna Buy Your Ribbons When You're Gone," and then there was another song that was kind of a remake of that. That was separately, became a traditional folk song. That was called "Who's Gonna Buy Your Chickens When You're Gone," and so there were a couple of lines in that second verse. It's just like me to keep buying you ribbons, so you still have some when I'm gone. It's just like me to put off these decisions. And then in the I guess last verse, I say, if you buy your chickens before they're hatched, you'll feel connected, or you'll be connected, but will feel detached. Um, and so those are based on those two original songs, "Who's Gonna Buy Your Chickens" and "Who's Gonna Buy Your Ribbons When I'm Gone," which, like I said, inspired the melody for "Don't Think Twice, It's Alright." But really just a phenomenal song by Bob Dylan. It's just some really good lines. I gave her my heart, but she wanted my soul. And you could have done better, but I don't mind. You just kind of wasted my own precious time. Yeah, he's just phenomenal. And more on him in a couple of weeks. We're gonna do a big old bash for his 80th birthday. And do all Dylan. And so definitely stay tuned for that. So speaking of songs that have "all right" in the title, this next song of mine is a song called "Too Much Doubt" that I also kind of wrote when I was driving away from this particular um, date, and as even as we were, as I was driving her back, um, there was something like there was just this big old jam on um, 55 North, I guess it was. And so it was just one of those things that, like, as I was alone in the car afterwards, I just kind of, was thinking, man, this traffic jam is kind of making it worse. And so I kind of used that as a metaphor for the relationship. And it was inspired by a song called Baby's All Right by King Margo, which is a duo out of Nashville. But the two members of the group, one of them is from Michigan and one of them is from Ohio originally. So just a really good group, King Margo, that you should definitely check out. And I know I've played this song on here before, but it's worth playing again. So this is Too Much Doubt, and Baby's All Right, and I hope you enjoy it. I see I-55 know there's a mess now as I drive in reverse. You and I look so good on paper. We both thought we were cursed. I tried 51 the highway, but 2 hours ahead someone was turning left, and that almost struck me dead. And I almost made you cry, thought you'd wanna hear the truth. You got energy for days, but it did not restore the energy of my youth. Man, you're telling your friend Courtney that I'm just more of the same. Oh, but maybe you're the one who needs to change. It ain't easy being rejected or being the one who has to let down. There was just too much doubt. As we were pulling into Memphis, your eyes opened so wide. And when we walked into my apartment, your excitement never died. I know that I'm special, but I'm not that unique. Being cultured shouldn't be that chic. There was just something about you that reminds me of the past, but this time I'm not gonna force it to last. Bet you're telling your friend Courtney that I'm just more of the same. Oh, but maybe you're the one who needs to change. It ain't easy being rejected or being the one who has to let down. There was just too much doubt. Bet you're telling your friend Courtney that I'm just more of the same. Oh, but maybe you're the one who needs to change. It ain't easy being rejected or being the one who has to let down. There was just too much doubt. I see I-55 in the rear view as I drive in reverse. There's more than one bridge to New York City, and I burn them all down. Oh, coffee and cheesecake and juniors, let the sugar wash on the moons. Walk the Brooklyn Bridge home at 4 a.m. Get the Borough line, I call home. You were just getting off work, loading out the truck. Heard the smile in your voice, heard the smile in mine. Now I don't know who you talk to or what song you can put down. Singing baby's alright for a bloody or two. And I listen when I catch the train, my headphones in like everybody else. A little time for myself. A friend's band was playing somewhere behind an unmarked black door. It was freezing cold in April. Said, I think I've been here before. Shoot the cold from my shoulder, grabbed a beer and got a shot. Put a hand on my waist, said, I'm glad that you're here for a while. Now I don't know who you talk to or what song you can put down. Singing baby's alright for a bloody or three. And I'll sit there when I catch the train, my headphones in like everybody else. A little time for myself. The fruit stand still there on the corner up in Queens. Another day like all the rest, but I still shed my skin upon Ring West. Now I don't know who you talk to or what song you can put down. Singing baby's alright for a bloody or two. And I listen when I catch the train, my headphones in like everybody else. A little time for myself. There's more than one bridge to New York City, and I burn them all down. All right, and that was Too Much Doubt and Baby's Alright. The first one was by yours truly, and the second one was by King Margo, like I said, a band out of Nashville. Really, really good group. And that's one of my favorite songs. Like I said, I know I've played that song on here before, and I probably mentioned, in fact, it was like 2 years ago this weekend, now that I'm thinking about it, that I heard that song for the first time. And my mom was in town for my CD release party, and King Margo was playing as well at that CD release. And my mom and I were sitting next to each other, and we just both looked at each other and were like, "Man, that was incredible!" And I had played with them one other time, and we both agreed that like they didn't play that the first time, but we just looked at each other and were like, "That was one of the best songs that they've written," and I still stand by that. That particular song inspired a future album title called I Still Shed My Skin Upon Request. I forgot to mention, but you probably picked up on it, that You're the Reason I'm a Travelin' On. That album title was taken from the Bob Dylan song, or the line in the Bob Dylan song, Don't Think Twice, It's Alright. The other funny thing about that King Margo song, I had it in my head, and then Luch and Rachel stuck around for a little bit afterwards. Had a couple more gigs in town, and so we were doing this meeting for MSA, and we're doing a co-write, and so Luch and I were talking, and it was one of those things where we're like, okay, what do we want to write about? And I said, well, I like songs that mention places in them, and "Baby's All Right" was one of those, and so we're like, okay, we can write that. And then we ended up writing a song that was called "Broke Down in Hell," and it's basically a country song about how these two young lovers were got married in the middle of Arkansas, and then were headed up to Mackinac Island for their honeymoon, and just like got into it with each other, and broke down in Hell, Michigan. And so that was that story. So something funny did end up coming from that, instead of writing another serious song. And I really am looking forward to recording that at some point, because I've got some kind of wild country songs that I think would be fun to get King Margo involved in. But pretty much anything King Margo is involved in is going to be a fun time. So definitely check them out. They're playing at a lot of different places. They actually tour a lot, which is great. But anyway, this next song is a song called "Paper Goods," and the idea of looking good on paper. That's kind of where I took this song. But it was inspired by "The Stone" by Josh Ritter. And so I'm going to play both of those songs. Say you can wait to leave the sticks and get away from your old tricks. Get away from your old tricks. You love your dog more than me. You're barking up the wrong tree. Barking up the wrong tree. I may have changed my mind. If you decide to change, you were wide-eyed about my life and future children's names. Yeah, you just wanted kids to show them off, and that just isn't my lot. That just isn't my lot. You make someone happy, I won't be that one. Saw patterns from when I begun. Saw patterns from when I begun. You viewed what's normal as a novelty act and put me on the wrong track. Put me on the wrong track. I may have changed my mind. If you desire to change, you were wide-eyed about my life and future children's names. Yeah, you just wanted kids to show them off, and that just isn't my lot. That just isn't my lot. I almost asked you where we went from it. But soon that answer became so clear. You gave things a month, I give it a day. But paper goods can still fade. Paper goods can still fade. Change your face, change your name. Rip the roots that you laid down. Rip the roots that you laid down. You'll keep your hurt, you'll keep your pain. Close company now, close company now. Lying away in a different house, with different arms around you now. On a different street, in a different town, on the same old road that the night comes down, that the night comes down. Love will burn a hole through your human doubts and free your heart from the stone. Free your heart from the stone, and that stone may roll, but it'll search you out. No matter where you go, it'll find you. Lying awake in a different house, with different arms around you now. On a different street, in a different town, on the same old road that the night comes down, that the night comes down. All right, and that was Paper Goods and The Stone, that first one by yours truly, and that second one by Josh Ritter off of Sermon on the Rocks, my favorite album of his. We've got another song of his from his most recent album, Fever Breaks, which I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit, but that's one of my favorites. I just really like that metaphor of, the stone of your heart. Like it's the stone that got there is always going to be there. It might roll away a little bit, but it's always going to be there. That's just a really good image. I mean, I hate that that's a thing. But that's, if you're going to make a relatable song, there you go. So this next song is one called Hard to See the Sunshine. And I just kind of had this in my head. I had Sister Golden Hair by America stuck in my head. And specifically the line, the opening line of, well, I tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn depressed. And I was kind of feeling that way, and so I was like, this is a really interesting place to take that, of like not being able to see the sunshine, and just because you're in that particular state of mind. So this is Hard to See the Sunshine and Sister Golden Hair, and this requires a capo. So I'm gonna capo up and start singing. Tried so hard to see the sunshine through the darkness that you caused, but that just was not in line, so happiness was put on pause. I don't feel like doing nothing, I'm still here on the green couch. The the same place I've been since the night you walked out. Well, you claim it all meant nothing, and that must be very nice to pretend as if you're loving and let another pay the price. When you get tired of somebody who would have loved you to death, and one day soon you won't have no one left. Do you know what you do to me? Do you still think that you have? You just been a train right through me when you moved me on a shelf. Next in a long, I can see the sunshine, though it still makes my heart melt. Maybe one day in the distance we will somehow reconnect, and we'll laugh about resistance and how you left things a wreck. But I'm nowhere close to that place, and no matter where you are, at least you don't have to worry about the scars. Do you know what you do to me? Do you still think that you have? You just been a train right through me when you moved me on a shelf. Next in a long, I can see the sunshine, though it still makes my heart melt. Do you know what you do to me? Do you still think that you have? You just been a train right through me when you moved me on a shelf. Next in a long, I can see the sunshine, though it still makes my heart melt. Next in a long, I can see the sunshine, though it still makes my heart melt. Well, I tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn depressed that I set my sights on Monday, and I got myself undressed. I ain't ready for the altar, but I do agree there's times when a woman, she can be a friend of mine. Well, I keep on thinking about you, sister, golden and surprise, and I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? I've been one poor correspondent, I've been too hard to find, but that doesn't mean you ain't been on my mind. Will you meet me in the middle? Will you meet me in the end? Will you love me just a little, just enough to show you care? Well, I tried to make it, I don't mind saying, I just can't make it there. Well, I keep on thinking about you, sister, golden and surprise, and I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? I've been one poor correspondent, I've been too hard to find, but that doesn't mean you ain't been on my mind. Will you meet me in the middle? Will you meet me in the end? Will you love me just a little, just enough to show you care? Well, I tried to make it, I don't mind saying, I just can't make it. Yeah. Well, I tried to fake it, I don't mind saying, I just can't make it. All right, I forgot the doo-wops in there, but that's quite all right with you, I'm sure. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you're out there, let me know if you can comment or feel like commenting. It's not required. Speaking of things that are not required, if you feel like tipping, please do. Minnesota Mike Music on Venmo, PayPal, and Cashapp. They're written some slightly different ways, but you should be able to find it as long as you search Minnesota Mike Music. But like I said, that is not required. Definitely, I would appreciate it, but not required in the slightest. So we're gonna keep the capo on and do a song inspired by "I Started a Joke" by the Bee Gees, and this is a song called "You Strung Me Along." And at first, it started off just as a regular old song, and then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna make a bunch of guitar puns throughout this song, but like have it be a serious song. So this is "You Strung Me Along," and I started a joke. One more fret down. Yeah, I started a joke, which started the whole world crying. But I didn't see that the joke was on me. Oh no. I started to cry, which started the whole world laughing. Oh, if I'd only seen that the joke was on me. I looked at the skies, running my hands over my eyes, till I fell out of bed, hurting my hand from the things that I said, till I finally died, which started the whole world living. Oh, if I'd only seen then the joke was on me. I looked at the skies, running my hands over my eyes, and I fell out of bed, hurting my hand from the things that I said, till I finally died, which started the whole world living. Oh, if I'd only seen then the joke was on me. Oh, that the joke was on me. You strung me along when it became so unmelodic. If it wasn't for you, I would still be in tune. You strung me along, now someone else is for your picking. If it wasn't for you, I would still be in tune. You clung to my neck in the time you were starting to fret. My body was overused, felt so amused when you were through. Thought I was made of steel, but it was only nylon. If it wasn't for you, I would still be into you. Under my neck, in the time you were starting to fret, my body was overused, felt so amused when you weren't there. Thought I was made of steel, but it was only nylon. If it wasn't for you, I would still be into. If it wasn't for you, I would still be into. All right, and that was I Started a Joke and You Strung Me Along. Yeah, that was that. Yeah. Looked like we lost a live viewer during that particular song, so that either means somebody thought the song was about them, or it's Barry Gibb calling his lawyer. I don't I don't know what to hope for. But that was that. Like I said, a lot of guitar puns in there. So this next one was inspired by Meet Me in the Morning. And this is a song called You Say I Hurt Your Feelings. And this particular person that this song is about, I was pretty honest with her, and she at some point throughout the afternoon said like, "Oh yeah, I once dated a guy who broke up with her, like called it off or whatever, because he said I talk too much." And then she launches into like this 10-minute story, and I was just like, do we not recognize irony here? Like, it was just one of those things. And so like that wasn't the only thing wrong, but it was, when I said like, oh yeah, we're not compatible, um you know at the end of like me talking about it, she's just kind of like, well, you kind of hurt my feelings. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, that was not my intention, but like, you should probably hear the truth so that you can be willing to grow with somebody, even if it's not me. And so that was one of those things. And by the way, not all of these songs are about the same person, because as I kind of alluded to there, I maybe didn't handle that as well as I could have. And so it's a little bit hard for me to be mad, because it's like, okay, we just weren't compatible. And so that's one of those things that, as I've kind of been saying in some other songs, she'll be great for somebody, just not me. And as my great grandma would put it, it'd be a shame to spoil two good couples. But anyway, so this is a song about that person. Not all of the songs on here are about her. But this is a song called You Say I Hurt Your Feelings, and it was inspired by Meet Me in the Morning by Bob Dylan. So I'm going to play that as well. You say I hurt your feelings, but do nothing to change my mind. You say I hurt your feelings, but do nothing to change my mind. Darling, and that rate and good love is gonna be so hard to find. We could have gone places no one ever knew about. We could have gone to places no one ever knew about. But I can't trust you based on some of the things that came from your mouth. You're in the city, didn't even know what rush hour is. You're in the city, didn't even know what rush hour is. Oh, and you just use them as props. If you ever had your own kids, all I could have told you is spelled out now clear as day. All I could have told you is now spelled out clear as day. If you loved me, you would have explained yourself and would have begged me to stay. Meet me in the morning, 56th and Wabasha. Meet me in the morning, 56th and Wabasha. Honey, we could be in Kansas by the time the snow begins to thaw. They say the youngest hour is right before the dawn. They say the youngest hour is right before the dawn. But you wouldn't know him by me. Every day's been darkness since you've been gone. Little rooster crowing, there must be something on his mind. Little rooster crowing, there must be something on his mind. Honey, I feel just like that rooster. You treat me so unkind. The birds are flying low, babe. Honey, I feel so exposed. Well, the birds are flying low, babe. Honey, I feel so exposed. sheds, and the station doors are all closed. Well, I struggled through the barbed wire, bet the hail far from above. Well, I struggled through the barbed wire, bet the hail far from above. Well, I even outran the hound dogs. Honey, you know I deserve your love. Look at the sun sinking like a ship. Look at the sun sinking like a ship. Ain't that just like my heart now, darling, when you kissed my lips? All right, and that was You Say I Hurt Your Feelings, and Meet Me in the Morning by Bob Dylan. That second one from Blood on the Tracks, and my song from You're the Reason I'm a Travelin' On, which we are showcasing tonight. So this next song continues the Minnesota artist block, and this is a song inspired by Save It for a Rainy Day by the Jayhawks. Again, another one that I have played on here before, but it's just such an inspirational song. Today's May 8th. This song came out on April 8th of 2003. Not my song, but the Jayhawks song, obviously. This is a song called Meant to Be, or Wasn't Meant to Be, I should say, and I hope you enjoy it. We look so good on paper, love, I wanna savor. Seemed you knew how to love me before we even met. I didn't wanna hurt you, the other side was so new. My darling, it forever wouldn't been something to regret. Yeah, I know you want someone, it's just not my new me. Yeah, I may have made you cry, but soon enough I know you're gonna see it just wasn't meant to be. You talked about your Yorkie, and you did support me. The lights of the big city in my place was something fresh. Candle in the white eyes, no matter how hard you try. I left you in the Walmart parking lot to cry. Yeah, I know you want someone, it's just not bound to be. I may have made you cry, but soon enough I know you're gonna see it just wasn't meant to be. Yeah, I know you want someone, it's just not bound to be me. Yeah, I may have made you cry, but soon enough I know you're gonna see it just wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't meant to be. Pretty little hairdo, don't know what it used to. Can't disguise the living on the miles that you've been through. Looking like a train wreck from wearing too much makeup. The burden that you carry is more than one soul could ever bear. So sad, don't look so sad, Marina, there's another part to play. So sad, don't look so sad, Marina, saving more rainy day. Saving more rainy day. Saving more rainy day. You never make your mind up, like driving with your eyes shut. Rough around the edges, hoping someone will take you home. Waiting for a breakthrough, what will you set your mind to? We stood outside the Chinese restaurant in the rain. So sad, don't look so sad, Marina, there's another part to play. So sad, don't look so sad, Marina, saving more rainy day. Saving more rainy day. Saving more rainy day. Saving for a rainy day. Saving for a rainy day. All right, and that was Wasn't Meant to Be and Save It for a Rainy Day, the Jayhawks song. That particular song also inspired a line in, an album title, I should say. And that was Outside the Chinese Restaurant. That's, I'll have to look that up, maybe play it at some point because it's a pretty interesting album. But yeah, and then same with Meet Me in the Morning. Actually, I just wrote an album and titled it "We Could Be in Kansas" because that's the line from Meet Me in the Morning. I really enjoy doing that because, especially with these really obscure lines, it's fun to kind of bring out that title. This one wasn't super obscure. You're the reason I'm traveling on. But it fit very, very well nonetheless. Sorry. But this next song that we are going to do, I think was originally inspired by a Cloud Cult song. And I was looking at it, and that just didn't really fit the vibe that I was going for. And so I was kind of looking over it, and I was like, this kind of has the feel to The Air That I Breathe by Maroon 5. And so that's kind of the feel that I ended up changing it to, but kind of a strange evolution of that particular song. But this is a song called Passing Through, and I hope you enjoy it. I'm also going to play The Air That I Breathe after that. Bet you're somewhere else, only passing through, giving someone else a part of you. I wonder if you are, if they're cool with that, or if there's something in your mind they lack. Will you just set them free in the way you did to me? Wish I could warn them of the storm so they could know and have time to flee, 'cause they will never make it out alive if all you ever want to do is drive. You're just passing through, they're too good for you. I want to see all of their blind spots before you let them all out to ride. One day you will get what's coming. Their faces turn out red when you play with their heads. They'll start to fantasize and see just your lies. You're gonna tell them that you'll never let go, and then when you do, they'll wonder how they were to know. Will you just set them free in the way you did to me? Wish I could warn them of the storm so they could know and have time to flee, 'cause they will never make it out alive. If all you ever wanna do is drive, you're just passing through. They're too good for you. I wanna see all of their blind spots before you let them all out to ride. One day you will get what's coming. Oh, you'll get away with it till the end of time. Say all the right things, then you'll rob them blind. I don't wish that on them you deserve the pain, but it's clear that you never will change, 'cause you will never make it out alive. If all you ever want to do is drive, you're just passing through. They're no good for you. I want to see all of them blind spots before you let them all out to ride. One day you will get what's coming, 'cause they will never make it out alive. If all you ever want to do is drive, you're just passing through. They're too good for you. I want to see all of them blind spots before you let them all out to ride. One day you will get what's coming. People never change, they seem to stay the same. They wear different clothes but play the same games. Many different ways to say the same thing. Searching for the right words, the ones that would make you stay. Exchanging the way things were for how they should be, and choosing these words to say into her the things that she never heard but always deserved. I figured out what it was all about. It's you that I could never live without. You're everything, the air that I breathe. It's stupid not to know it all along, that everything she ever did was wrong. Sadly, it's too late for sorry. Oh, I'm not even really sure who made this mess and who knew one punch. I could not care less. All I know is that I'm here and you are not. Oh, once I put this wasted pride aside, nothing's all I got. Oh, exchanging the way things were for how they should be, and choosing these words to say into her the things that she never heard but always deserved. I figured out what it was all about. It's you that I could never live without. You're everything, the air that I breathe. It's stupid not to know it all along, that everything she ever did was wrong. Sadly, it's too late for sorry. Oh, somebody come and make it stop, yeah. And pick me up and dust me off. The rainy day flood will drown all this love. Trapped at the bottom now, please dig me up. I figured out what it was all about. It's you that I could never live without. You're everything, air that I breathe. It's stupid not to know it all along, that everything she ever did was wrong. Sadly, it's too late, for sorry. I figured out what it was all about. It's you that I could never live without. You're everything. The air that I'm breathing. It's stupid not to know it all along, that everything she ever did was wrong. Sadly, it's too late, for sorry. All right, and that was Passing Through and The Air That I Breathe, that second one by Maroon 5. That one was pretty explicitly influenced by Maroon 5, but there actually was a line in one of the songs that I played earlier, and I'm trying to pull it up. I should probably know that. And it said something about bending a train through me, and that actually was inspired by a Maroon 5 line as well, kind of, sort of. There was there's a line in Back at Your Door, the Maroon 5 song, and it was, why do you do this to me? You penetrate right through me. And the first time that I heard that song, I thought that the line was, you bend a train right through me. And I'm like, that's still a good line. And so, since they didn't take me up on it, since they didn't do it, I figured I'd take that one. The other great Maroon 5 misheard lyric that I have, they have a song called It Was Always You, and the opening line is, woke up sweating from a dream, but I heard it as woke up sweating from a tree. And I'm still yet to use that in a song, but I think that's a much better line. So Adam Levine, if you're listening, let's co-write, because I can make you an even better songwriter than you already are. All right. So this next song was inspired by this conversation that I had after the rather bad Bumble date. That it wasn't bad, but it was just, we were incompatible. But like, it was one of those things that, she was kind of thinking, she's like, oh, well, this seemed to be going really well. I don't really get it. And I was like, yeah, that's just mainly because I'm not a jackass, right? Like, I didn't want to just be like, call it off in the middle of it. I wanted to, see if it got better. It didn't. But I wanted to see it through. And so it was one of those things. She's like, yeah, I felt like it's going really well. And I didn't say this, but like, I just kind of said, like, I was just trying to go along with things, be easygoing. And the way that came out in song was this particular song called I Was Acting. And it was inspired by It Ain't Me, Babe by Bob Dylan. Really been on a Bob Dylan kick lately. So this is I Was Acting and It Ain't Me, Babe, and I hope you enjoy both of them. Yeah, I'd like to say it was all your fault, but I said some things I didn't mean. Yeah, I felt uncomfortable around you, but I didn't want to cause a scene. Yet you told me you felt at home, but didn't like me watching you eat. So something didn't add up quite right, and I gave you the white sheet. Well, I was acting, yes, all this time I was acting, wanting to make the best of everything. I didn't want to break your heart in the middle of our drive. for someone as vivacious as you. I didn't feel so alive. It's not that this was easy, though I put up a good front. I was trying to be easy going, though I knew you were the one. Well, I was acting, yes, all this time I was acting, wanting to make the best of everything. I would have liked to grow together, but some things are just too in place. Yeah, I'm been in love with a fantasy before I even saw your face. Maybe in another life we would have been just right. You weren't the right one for me, but breaking your heart caused me no delight. Well, I was acting, yes, all this time I was acting, wanting to make the best of everything. Well, I was acting, yes, all this time I was acting, wanting to make the best of everything. Going from my window, leave at your own chosen speed. I'm not the one you want, babe. I'm not the one you need. You say you're looking for someone who's never weak but always strong, to protect you and defend you, whether you're right or wrong. Someone to open each and every door, but it ain't me, babe. No, 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 it ain't me, babe. It ain't me you're looking for, babe. Go lightly from the ledge, babe. Go lightly on the ground. Yeah, I'm not the one you want, babe. I'll only let you down. You say you're looking for someone who's never gonna part, someone to close his eyes for you, someone to close his heart, someone who will die for you and more. But it ain't me, babe. No, 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 it ain't me, babe. It ain't me you're looking for, babe. Go melt back into the night. Everything is made of stone. There's nothing in it moving, and anyway, I'm not alone. You say you're looking for someone who will make you up each time you fall, to gather flowers constantly and come each time you call. A lover for your life and nothing more. But it ain't me, babe. No, 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 it ain't me, babe. It ain't me you're looking for. It ain't me, babe. No, 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 it ain't me, babe. It ain't me you're looking for, babe. All right, and that was "It Ain't Me, Babe" by Bob Dylan, which was off of his album "Another Side of Bob Dylan," one of two albums that he released in 1964. The other one being "The Times They Are Changin'," um, which inspired another song of mine recently. A song from that album did. Yeah, really good a really good, song right there. "It Ain't Me, Babe." Uh, the thing that I always find that song humorous that, like, you're looking for all of these things and no, it's not me, sorry. That just has always struck me as being a funny concept for a song. But the other funny thing about that particular song, I was having a conversation with the board members for the Memphis Songwriters Association, and I can't remember what we were talking about, but like it was something that was just not in my skill set, and so I said, responded back, and I said, "Well, it ain't me you're looking for," and Mark Parcell, the president of MSA, just texted back, "Babe," and it was just one of the funniest things. I'm like, okay, these folks get me. Um, but yeah, so this the main person who these songs are about um is from the country, and somehow we matched on Bumble, and like I said, despite that portion of it, we still look pretty good on paper in terms of what we were looking for, and all of that stuff. But there were certain things um about the country living that weren't necessarily, you know, what I was used to, and it wasn't even the racism or the things like that. But I mentioned like, oh, she didn't even know what rush hour was. Like I was, driving her back, and she's like, oh, because I'm like, yeah, I mean, I want to beat the traffic, and she's like, or want to beat, the rush hour traffic, and she literally looked at me and was just like, "What's rush hour?" And I'm like, "Oh gosh, oh wow," and was like super wide eyed coming into Memphis, with the lights of the big city and all of that, and so it was just like, yeah, no, there's a lot here that just is not. So that's, I mentioned like, oh yeah, what's normal shouldn't be a novelty act. That was kind of it. That like there are just some wide-eyed features that you just can't unlearn, and that was strange to me. Um, but anyway, um, at the end of the day, it was just one of those things where we weren't compatible, and the only time that bugs me is if it's a silver lining, right? If somebody, is really awful to me, and it's like, well, they weren't the person for you. I don't want to hear that. But if it's clear that that's what the deal is, then that is a little bit different. But anyway, so this is a song that kind of brings the bitterness to a close, and recognizes that, like, hey, it might not be us, but like you're gonna find somebody, and I probably will too. And so this is a song that was inspired by "I Still Love You Now and Then" by Josh Ritter, and uh, and then my song is called "Just 'Cause You and I Are Done." And this Josh Ritter song, by the way, this is on an album that was produced by Jason Isbell, and it's definitely a different feel for Josh Ritter. Um, but I also feel like it, should maybe be a law that the two of them have to collaborate on something every year, because it's still a really good record, and they're two of my favorite singer-songwriters. So this is "Just 'Cause You and I Are Done" and "I Still Love You Now and Then" and I hope you enjoy both of them. You're living your life to the east, and you give someone what they need. I just by chance happened to see that ammunition won't be me. Just 'cause you and I aren't done don't mean there's not someone who will love you more than the sun that you bring. Just 'cause of the things I said don't mean that your love is dead. I just standing in my head, we weren't sustainable. Yeah, I make that a reason to complain. It was the simplest for you to change. Hanging with you left me drained, but someone will need to rearrange. Just 'cause you and I aren't done don't mean there's not someone who will love you more than the sun that you bring. Just 'cause you and I are, just 'cause of the things I said don't mean that your love is dead. I'm just standing in my head, we weren't sustainable. You wanted in on a new world. I couldn't be with a white-eyed girl. One day you will find your pearl. Now I'll find mine in a wind that whirls. Just 'cause you and I aren't done don't mean there's not someone who will love you more than the sun that you bring. Just 'cause of the things I said don't mean that your love is dead. I'm just standing in my head, we weren't sustainable. Just 'cause you and I are none don't mean there's not someone who will love you more than the sun that you bring. Just 'cause of the things I said don't mean that your love is dead. I'm just standing in my hand, we weren't sustainable. They all say that you're doing well, living out in Arkansas. You got a family now, they tell. Old days never call to you. Me, I'm working for the man, but he ain't got the best of me. I have friends and I have lands, and someone's got the rest of me. But I still love you now and then. I still love you now and then. I still love you now and then when I think of you. I still love you now and then. I still love you now and then. I still love you now and then when I think of you. Said I'm broken heart, don't leave a scar. I give in to myself and I keep my head up though it's hard. All these things take a little time. 'Cause I still love you now and then. I still love you now and then. Yeah, I still love you now and then when I think of you. Yeah, I still love you now and then. I still love you now and then. Yeah, I still love you now and then when I think of you. Never mind all that they say. How are you these days? Yeah, I laugh and tell him that I'm doing fine. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take a little more than time. I wish for you the very best. You always were the best of us. There was you, then there's the rest. And that's the girl I'm thinking of. But I still love you now and then. I still love you now and then. I still love you now and then when I think of you. Yeah, I still love you now and then. I still love you now and then. Yeah, I still love you now and then when I think of you. Yeah, I still love you now and then when a mingles rush my skin, when the night falls over everything that's been and everything we were, and can I make again? Yeah, I still love you now and then when I think of you, when I think of you. When I think of you, yeah, I think of you. All right, and that was I Still Love You Now and Then, and Just 'Cause You and I Are Done. That first one was by me. That second one was by Josh Ritter, a song produced by Jason Isbell. So that does it for this live stream. You're the reason I'm a traveling on. I appreciate all of you who tuned in and who will watch later, even if you couldn't watch live. I really do appreciate this. I was gonna say, all the views count. They don't really. I mean, you know, I appreciate whoever needs the music, whoever listens to the music, and regardless of the amount of viewers. I appreciate you guys tuning in. And listening and all of that good stuff. I am Minnesota Mike. I'm on iTunes and Spotify, all your favorite streaming platforms, YouTube, of course, and Twitch as well. And then Facebook and Instagram is Minnesota Mike. Also PayPal, Venmo, and Cashapp as Minnesota Mike Music. Next week, what we're going to do is we are going to be focusing on my album, The Color of the Sky, which is, I've had this album in the can for a long time, but it was, needed a little bit more work. And I was going to do it in like February, but like I said, it needed a little bit more work. So I put in that work, and I hope that you guys enjoy it when I stream that next week. But that'll be the plan there. And I hope that you guys have a good week, and make sure that you're staying safe out there, in there, wherever you might go or not go. And yeah, I'll see you next week for the Color of the Sky live stream. Thank you very, very much, and we'll see you next week.